Story. An election judge in Hubbard County is accused of accepting 11 unregistered votes. Timothy Michael Scoton, who served as head election judge for Badora Township, is charged with one count of accepting the vote of an unregistered voter and one count of neglect of duty on election day, according to a criminal complaint. On November 7th, an investigator received a copy of an email from the Hubbard County auditor, but the auditor couldn't find the completed registration forms. The email stated 11 people had registered to vote in Badora Township. Now, according to the complaint, Scoton was arrested at Hubbard County Sheriff's Office, and if convicted, he could face up to 10 years in prison.